Here I am at the airport. The first step I have to do is check in. Now, you might think checking in is simple. You walk up to a counter, you hand over your ID, you smile. But on a scooter, everything is a new level of Olympic sport. The check-in counters are built for people who are, standing, they are tall, I'm sitting. This means I have to perform a maneuver I like to call the lean. It involves stretching your entire upper body over the scooter's handlebars, like you're reaching for the last cookie on the top shelf. It's not graceful, it's a core workout I did not sign up for, and it usually results in me accidentally honking my trusty Steve Scooty's tiny, yet surprisingly loud, horn. The agent behind the counter was a lovely woman named Brenda, who looked like she had seen it all, but I don't think she had seen the lean before. As I stretched, my bag slipped off my lap and its contents spilled onto the floor. A tube of lipstick, my passport, a robe, granola bar, about 17 pens rolled under the baggage scale. Brenda just blinked. "Having a good day, hun?" she asked, with a kindness that made me want to cry a little bit. "So far, so good. I've made it this far." And she just nodded knowingly, as if navigating the airport in a mobility scooter is her jam. So here's travel tip number 2. The fanny pack is your friend. I know. Fashion police, arrest me now. But when you're on a scooter, you need your important documents. Your ID, your boarding pass, your emergency chocolate strapped to your body. It avoids the whole spilling your life story onto the airport floor situation. As Brenda patiently waited, I managed to retrieve my passport from its hiding place near the scale's left wheel. I handed it to her with what I hoped was a look of competence, but it was probably more like a look of sheer desperation. She smiled, tagged my bag, and sent me on my way. As I rolled away, I gave Brenda a little toot-toot from Scooty's horn as a thank you. She just waved, already focused on the next traveler. I felt a small sense of victory. I had survived check-in. My bag was on its way to the plane, hopefully. I had my boarding pass. Airport security. The place where dignity goes to die. For most people, it's a flurry of taking off shoes, pulling out laptops, chugging water bottles. For me, it's a whole different kind of performance art. I rolled up to the TSA agent, who immediately got on his walkie-talkie.
Got a scooter at lane 4.
He announced, like he was calling in backup for a major incident. Suddenly, I was the center of attention. People in line were staring, probably wondering if I was going to try and smuggle something in Scooty's underseat basket. I was. It was a bag of gummy bears, but they didn't need to know that. The first challenge is the conveyor belt. I can't just walk through the metal detector. Oh no, Scooty and I get our own special screening. An agent directed me to a separate area. Another agent took my carry-on bag, my jacket. Before we get back to the airport shenanigans, let's hit pause for a quick pit stop. If you're loving this wild ride through airport security, trust me, it gets even better. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Picture this. You, me, Scooty, zipping through airports around the world, dodging security mishaps and collecting travel stories like they're rare Pokemon. Want more travel tips, hilarious fails, and behind-the-scenes chaos? Tap that bell so you never miss an episode. Go on, give that like button a little pat down of its own. And I promise, no swabbing required. Your support helps keep these journeys rolling. Now back to our regularly scheduled security adventure. I sat there feeling exposed as they swiped every single surface of my scooter with a little cloth on a stick. They swiped the seat, the handlebars, the wheels, the basket. I was half expecting them to ask for a urine sample from the battery. I just sat there, smiling politely, pretending this was a totally normal Tuesday. Then comes the main event, the pat-down. Now, I have nothing against the TSA agents. They're just doing their jobs. But the airport pat-down is an intimate experience. It's a dance. I call it the Pat-Down Polka. The agent, a very serious woman named Carol, explained the procedure in a monotone voice. She would be using the back of her hands to check sensitive areas. I nodded, trying to look cool and unfazed, as if I get personally inspected for contraband on a regular basis. It's a very specific kind of awkward, having a stranger check the waistband of your pants in front of a line of impatient travelers. Carol was thorough, very thorough. She patted my arms, my back, my legs. She asked me to lift my feet one by one so she could check my ankles. I felt like I was in a strange, government-mandated yoga class. "Okay," she said finally, her voice betraying no emotion.
"You're all set."
I wanted to ask her if we were going steady now, but I figured that might land me in a private screening room, and I had a plane to catch. Just when I thought the security spectacle was over, it was time for the next act, reassembling my life. My belongings came through the scanner in a jumble of gray bins. My laptop was in one, my shoes in another, my bag of liquids in a third. It was like a puzzle, and the prize for solving it was getting to my gate on time. While everyone else quickly grabbed their things and scurried away, I was stuck. I couldn't just bend down and pick everything up. This required strategy. It required another signature move, the scooter scoot and grab. It's less of a dance and more of a clumsy ballet. I had to roll forward, stop, lean precariously to one side to grab a bin, and then hoist it onto my lap, my laptop, my shoes, my jacket. It all had to be balanced on my knees while I tried to navigate out of the way of the people behind me. One man huffed impatiently, as if my slow, methodical process was a personal affront. I gave him a look that I hoped conveyed, "Sir, I am doing my best." He didn't seem to get the message, but thankfully, a kind soul saw my struggle. A young woman with bright pink hair came over. "Do you need a hand with that?" she asked, already reaching for one of the bins. I could have kissed her. Together, we formed an efficient two-person assembly line. She would hand me an item, and I would find a place for it in my bag. It was a beautiful moment of airport solidarity. This brings me to tip number 3. Don't be afraid to accept help. People are generally good, especially when they see you're about to be buried under a pile of your own stuff. It's a reminder that even in the chaos of travel, a little kindness goes a long way. With my new friend's help, I was finally repacked and ready to roll. I thanked her profusely. She just smiled and said, "Have a great flight." As I zoomed away, feeling triumphant, I couldn't help but laugh. Airport security on a scooter is not just a process, it's a full-blown production. Boarding the plane. This is the final frontier. They call for pre-boarding for passengers needing a little extra time. That's me. I'm the little extra time. I scooted down the jet bridge, feeling like royalty leading a parade. The flight attendants greeted me with big, slightly panicked smiles. They see a scooter, and they see a puzzle. "We'll have to gate check your scooter, ma'am," one of them said. "This is where you have to give up your wheels." It's a sad moment. I gave Scooty a final pat, like saying goodbye to a loyal horse, and transferred to the dreaded aisle chair. The aisle chair is a contraption that looks like it was designed by someone who has never seen a human body. It's a tall, skinny wheelchair that's narrow enough to fit down the airplane aisle. Getting into it is an art form. You have to pivot, you have to slide, you have to contort yourself in ways you didn't think were possible. 2 airline employees who were very strong and very patient helped me make the transfer. As they strapped me in, I felt like a piece of cargo being prepared for shipment. They gave me a little seatbelt, which seemed purely for decoration, because there was nowhere to go. Then came the procession down the aisle. It's a slow, bumpy ride. You're at eye level with everyone's knees. You make awkward, prolonged eye contact with every single person already seated. They look at you with a mixture of pity, curiosity, and relief that it's not them. I just smiled and waved like I was in the Rose Parade. What else can you do? You have to own the moment. I made a few jokes with the guys pushing me, asking if they could do a wheelie. So there you have it. A day in the life of a scooter riding, coffee spilling, security line holding up traveler. It was a day filled with small disasters and unexpected moments of comedy. And you know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything. Traveling with a mobility scooter isn't always easy, but it's never, ever boring. It teaches you to have a sense of humor and a lot of patience. Where's my sunscreen? It's time to enjoy this much-needed vacation.